Wow. Quantum
Is that a new
computer.
one?
I think we've had it for a while. I think Marty B made it a little while ago, and we just...
Oh, that was a Marty B one.
Yeah, we've just been sitting on it. It's a quantum computer jingle. And this is investorplace.com, the explosive quantum computing stock that could save the world.
Ooh, the stock can save the world. That's great.
And let's see, it's written by Luke Lango. He talks about he's a history junkie. So in this special Sunday issue of Hypergrowth Investing, let me start by sharing an interesting story from history that I bet a lot of you have never heard before, but which, interestingly enough, could be the key to enabling you to make money in this tough market. All right, so he goes through 1927, October, this whole long story about Albert Einstein and how he ran into quantum theory, and it was kind of a problem, or just something that they couldn't solve.
Just some background on quantum computer. Okay.
There's a segment here. Quantum computing will change the world. A study of quantum theory has made huge advancement over the past century, especially so over the past decade, wherein scientists at leading technology companies have started to figure out how to harness the magical powers of quantum mechanics to make a new generation of super quantum computers that are infinitely faster and more powerful than even today's fastest supercomputers. Magical powers of quantum mechanics. Again, the physics behind quantum computers is highly complex, but here's my Cliff Notes version. Okay, so, this part of the dissemination of this technology is the knowledge of the technology. We're kind of seeing it with blockchain, where it was like a technology that existed, but then implemented in a certain way, and then people start to learn about it. They start to, there's like a learning curve to all this. So this is interesting to see what they say here.
Sure.
Because 10 years ago, we probably wouldn't have had this description of a quantum computer. Today's computers are built on top of the laws of classical mechanics. That is, they store information on what are called bits, which can store data binarily or as either 1 or 0. But what if you can harness the power of quantum mechanics to turn those classical bits into quantum bits or qubits? And we've covered this before. That can leverage superposition to be both 1 and 0 data stores at the same time. It sounds like they just took what we talked about like 4 or 5 years ago in a Canary Cry radio episode about quantum computing. Even further, what if you could take those quantum bits and leverage entanglement to get all the multi-state bits to work together to solve computationally taxing problems? You would theoretically create a machine with so much computational power that it would make even today's most advanced supercomputers look like they are from the Stone Age. So what exactly is happening today? Google has built a quantum computer that is about 158 million times faster than the world's fastest supercomputer. That's not hyperbole, that's a real number. Imagine the possibilities if we can broadly create a new set of quantum computers 158 million times faster than even today's fastest computers. And he highlights some things that would happen. We'd finally have the level of AI that you see in movies. Okay? We could eradicate disease. I think that's part of China's play. China's biggest, one of China's biggest companies. Remember we were talking about the decacorns earlier?
Yeah.
I think the biggest company is Chinese, and they are like a surveillance. What was it? I should have pulled it up and kept the tab there. But it was a Chinese company that had something to do with what we're talking about here.
Okay.
We can finally have that million-mile EV. So yes, once we have
million
quantum
mile
computers,
EV.
we can get EV that can
an electric vehicle that can drive 1 million miles.
Yeah. The quantum threat. And then talks about the threat of how everything is encrypted today and how quantum computers would basically break all the encryption that we have currently. Yeah. And insiders call this the quantum threat. It's a huge deal. When the quantum threat arrives, no digital data will be safe. Back in 2019, computer scientists believed the quantum threat to be a distant threat, something that may happen by 2035. However, since then, rapid advancements in quantum computing capability have considerably moved up that timeline. Today, many experts believe the quantum threat will arrive in the 2025 to 2030 window.
That's okay.
That's
20.
coming up.
That's very convenient. Yeah, that's a great. It's a great schedule they've got
Get it
there.
in before 2030.
Yeah.
That means the world needs to start investing in quantum-proof encryption today. And that's why, from an investment standpoint, we believe quantum encryption stocks will be among the market's biggest winners in the 2020s. The global information security market is tracking towards $300 billion. That entire market will have to inevitably shift towards quantum encryption by 2030. Therefore, we're talking the creation of $300 billion in a market to save the planet from a security meltdown.
Oh, wow.
This guy is really going all in.
Meltdown.
He's going all in, man. It's not just skin in the game. This is his whole epidermal everything. He's going to save the world and get rich. Quantum encryption, baby. That is
a long play. That's a long-term play. I mean
not
but
that long. I mean, we're
8 years. 8 years.
Sure, yeah.
If you want to hold on to it for 8 years, this would be good.
But you could be a billionaire.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going to be a billionaire, you might as well. You might as well plan for 8 years ahead.
The final word. This company, what company is this? They talk about a startup here. Do they not mention the name? Maybe they don't mention the name. This company is working with the U.S. government, the UK government, and various other defense and intelligence agencies to finalize its breakthrough technology platform. The firm plans to launch the quantum encryption system globally in 2023. If the tech works at scale, this tiny stock, which is trading less than $20, will roar higher by more than 10x by 2025. And guess what? We just bought this stock in our flagship investment research product.
Ooh.
Click here. Click, click, click. Trust me. Click, click. There you go. That's your quantum computing update.
Yeah, that's so funny. They don't. What is the source of this?
Investor Place. So this is
Investor
it's
Place.
In the context
so they
of investing.
have a newsletter or something that they want you to
hyper growth investing. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So they have a product they're trying to sell us here.
But it is a good barometer of where quantum computing technology is, because we will start seeing it as a corporate, public type of company. Or many public companies doing things once it starts moving.
If there's quantum computing by 2030, I mean, I don't even know what we're going to podcast about anymore, because we'll just have nailed every single possible variant of the future. And perhaps another piece of evidence that you and I are somehow creating reality as we podcast.
I'm wondering if the rollout of quantum computing will be more exclusive, Well,
it'll certainly start at the government level.
Well, yeah. Well, that seems to already be in the works.
Quite possibly. Yeah.
But anyway, some interesting stuff. We'll keep track of all this. And yeah, you're right. If quantum computing comes full commercial in commercial view by 2030, we will, I don't know. I guess we'll just be, all the earth will be people podcasting search items on the quantum Google Tangle.
Robots doing robot jobs.
Robots are taking care. Humans doing human jobs, which is look up stuff on